I'm completely nervous. Let's have a little friendly banter first. Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hi!
So who else was turned on by Kim's performance?
Me!
Thank you so much, Sheena, for having us here. Thank you to all you lovely performers. You guys are doing such a great job. Like, oh, seriously. And I just noticed that it's not a dick. And I'm still very nervous. My legs are shaking. Okay, whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna perform a poem that I fucked up last time around. I performed it. I forgot halfway through because this is just me. I go through a poem. I memorize it, and who does it is correct. Like memorizing is hard. So halfway through, I forget, and this happened twice. So hopefully I don't forget this time. Let's see how it goes. This is called Uncountable Nouns, and I'm pressing play on a fragment of my life. So I'm kind of tall. Yeah, I want to kiss the mic. Okay. So get up. Yeah. I don't recall the first time ever seeing the ocean, but I was told it was during the first 6 months of my life. I was seated on the shore, my mother holding me as she guided my fast-moving arms to touch the wet sand, and we would wait as the water would come rushing to greet us. A year later, I sat in that same position with not much supervision as my mother and father would watch me from a distance. I remember running as fast as my pint-sized legs would take me, not anticipating the staggering rate they would grow to in a couple of years. I'd laugh and kick up sand, but what I loved most was to be immersed in those waters. I'd dunk my head under only to cough up to the surface in a nanosecond. Even long after getting out of the water, I could still feel the gentle sway of the waves that had made its mark on every inch of me. The only thing that didn't satisfy my tiny self that day was when I tried to catch seawater in my hands. I tried so hard to keep the liquid from spilling out. I clenched my fingers and my chubby palms together, only to have droplets seep through the crevices. I watched as each time the water depleted. I started to cry. See, I thought I could count it. I would have used the bucket I brought along, but that was already full with sand to bring back home because I was determined to count each and every single grain inside of it. But some things are just incalculable. The numbers are just not fixed, like the amount of change dangling in a pocket or the many miles to the gallon on a rocket ship. There's so much more than there are many. Behold the realm of the uncountable. The 2008 headline reads, "Scientists attempt to measure laughter." I just checked, they're still working on that. Coffee, like if you were to ask me the amount of coffee I've consumed since I was 12, don't ask. Some would even consider Imelda Marcus's shoes uncountable, but who are we to judge? Compassion, that which Buddha taught us to feel for all living things. Cognition, the expanse of the human mind that can only be imaginatively gauged when they say its vastness stretches to the moon and back again. Memories, good and bad, they are limitless. Experiences are what make us. Life is innumerable no matter how many we've lived. They say time, like reality, is a state of mind. So time, yet again, is another thing uncountable, like the seconds, minutes, hours, and days of holding on to hope that would only come as frequent as a shooting star. You can't spot a devout believer by the number of prayers performed or in the type of garb in which he is adorned. Faith is a trick, taught to many, earned by some, and kept by few. You can't count wisdom by the extent of deep conversations or the degree of witty outbursts made in a day. We're all still fools in so many ways. There should be no quotient for emotions. There are no Richter scales for how you feel. Sometimes earthquakes just happen. You can't count them. Like how I can't count the days and nights spent thinking of you. Those moments are just as uncountable as the sweep of your thick lashes. Uncountable the number of times I picture your face Insurmountable how much I miss you, even when you are only a few feet away. Hearts aren't just meant to pump blood and sustain life. And you can't quantify love. The same way you can't just total up losses by body count. The words I love you have been passed around so obscurely at times, like a half-smoked joint, the phrase lost in a flurry of puffs. And most of the time, only one of us gets to savor it to the end. Only one of us gets to put it out. Why is the measure of love loss? I've lost count of so many things. Lost in my uncountable fears that have buried me deeper than my uncountable sea of tears. I've lost count of so much. But then again, I was never really good with numbers. Heaving over something. Okay, for this next one, unfortunately I can't use my prop. You can't light up here, so. So, this is a new one, I haven't memorized it. It's called, whatever, it's called Inhale. This is a perfect position, by the way. Okay, when I say inhale, everyone try to inhale with me. When I say exhale, everyone try to exhale with me, if you can. So, inhale. Thin white menthols have become companions to me in my most lonely of moments. I inhale deep, dependent on every pull as if it were the breath of life itself. I know I will not be judged by them. My tobacco-laden insecurities are welcomed here. I am a woman scorned and misused. Worse still, I allow it. I allow myself to indulge in the ecstasy of pain that scorches me from the inside out. I would put out cigarettes on my arm if it would help numb that pain, but like nicotine, it is addictive. A soft core drug that leaves you lightheaded when you least expect it. I inhale, deeper, shut my eyes, feel the smoke roam around my mouth, deep, deep down to my throat. This feeling is often better than the kind taut phallic flesh leaves. Exhale. So provocative is the image of a woman with a tip of a cigarette filter between pouted lips, slick in anticipation of every pull. I luxuriate in my oral fixation. I call it my psychosexual right. I always need something in my mouth. To nibble and bite on, to suckle and tongue. My tongue is accustomed to the taste of sweet fags, reefers, gaspers. I delight in the sensation that leads towards the end, the moment when you can't help but huff and puff so furiously, escalating toward completion, yet prolonging its arrival. Stopping once, maybe twice, to catch a breath. And as embers finally reach its peak, it ends with burning lips, the sharp jolt, and final release. The cigarette drops to the floor, and all that is left is the memory of that final kiss. And everybody knows burning kisses last the longest. Thank you.